Now, more wine wisdom. It's Twisted Cork Radio with Jimmy and Miss Fox on 860 KKAT.
Hello, welcome back to Twisted Cork Radio. We do not have Jimmy in the studio with me today. We have our special guest, Olivier Perronnet, a French wine scholar, also a Fox School of Wine professor, and he also owns vineyards in Burgundy. So we're talking to the real thing, and he has a great accent, as you will hear. So I wanted to say we forgot to go over the types of foods that would go with a Beaujolais Nouveau. So I wanted to just go back quickly, do a little rewind, and talk about the types of foods that you would typically see in France, and then we can talk about American food as well.
Oh yes, of course with Beaujolais Nouveau, all the food from the town of Lyon goes perfectly well. And I'm talking charcuterie, which is all the dry salami, all the ham kind of product will go perfectly well with it. Of course, any kind of salad or build-up salad will go magnificently well with this one. Let's not forget white meat. I say that because we're going to eat turkey really soon, and turkey, chicken will go perfectly. And you can even push down to a fish. A fish maybe with a butter sauce, with fish a little bit heavier, will go so well with a Beaujolais Nouveau.
I love this.
I think a well-known sommelier was saying the Beaujolais Nouveau, it's a white wine disguised in red.
It sure is, because it's even actually chilled.
Yes,
we even chill it a little bit. Now, we've got these when you see these, when you see the new releases, what do you do? Like, what is your history from France? What do you do with buying the wine?
It's always a party. I was talking with my mom 3 days ago, and she got herself a bottle. I spoke with a friend yesterday on Skype, and he was really proud of showing me the empty bottle.
Okay.
It's a classic tradition. We get together, a couple of friends, everybody bring a different type of Beaujolais Nouveau. Piece of bread, piece of cheese, us French, and we talk about it for hours. We're having fun with it. We enjoy it. So yes, for us, it's a perfect occasion to get together and drink a little bit more.
So how many bottles of this do you think everybody should be buying?
So I think with Beaujolais Nouveau, the tradition back home, it's to buy 3. Why 3? The first one for the day of the release. You're going to try it. The second bottle you're going to keep until Christmas. And finally, the third one you're going to keep aside for the first barbecue of next spring. That'll be just fine.
I just love it. Such great. I'm going to do that from now on. Our family is buying 3 bottles, at least, and we'll probably change it to, rather than drinking it the day of the release, probably to the prep of Thanksgiving, because that's where I'm all into it. And then we'll go to Christmas, and then we'll go into the first barbecue of spring. So we've got a new wine in our glass. This is Aviron Milan Avant, and it is a 2017. This is one of the Cru areas in the north of Beaujolais. And maybe could you please tell us what it is like to grow grapes, because you've got your own Burgundy grapes or your vineyards, and these wineries, in Beaujolais, in the Cru area, they care deeply about their grapes, as do most wine growers and grape growers. Maybe you could give us an idea of what it's like to be in the vineyard yourself in France.
Yes, it's a lot of work. It's a passion. People who work directly in a vineyard, the vigneron, like we call them in France, the wine grower, they are in love with their grape. They are in love with their ground. It's a story about passion. They spend a lot of time taking care of the grape themselves, working the ground, cutting, helping the grape. So that's the first aspect of it. And after, like everything else, you got the administration aspect of it, because the regulation in France regarding AOC wine are really strong. You need to follow the rule. The rules are incredible. So it's a game of working the land, and working the system around to get the best out of it. Yes.
Do you then, as the grape grower, do you have to do a lot of paperwork to show that everything is in line with the rules? I see. They're not investigating.
Every year you need to declare how much you grow, the volume of the grape. It's always it's really a lot of work there. Yes.
Yes, it sounds. And then how much space, how much acreage? I don't know if you know acreage because I know you guys do hectares, but how many acres do you have under vine?
I have a really small lot. It's maybe 4 or 5 acre together. It's really small and it's really typical of Burgundy. In Burgundy, there is a lot of small family vineyard. It's not like in Bordeaux where we're talking big castle with a lot of land. Back in Burgundy, for the majority of the case, we are talking blue collar of the wine. There is few big names like the La Romanée Conti, of course, a lot of land. But if you look around, every village has got small people who work their vineyard. And they work all together through the cooperative system where they put their harvest together to bottle the wine together to lower the cost. That's what I do myself. I work with a cooperative of Virey-Clessé, which is the newest AOC in Burgundy. So yes, a bunch of small grower working together, trying to make a great wine.
Well, that's interesting, and that brings us to this wine that we've got in our glass now, this Aveyron Moulin Avant. It is a cru. But I was reading a lot about the négociants, the cooperatives. So that is a system in France that we don't see it as much over here. And that it's very strongly used in this area. Now, I don't know if Aveyron is actually a part of the négociant or part of the cooperative. I think it's his own area. But tell me a little bit about why that négociant cooperative kind of thing is important.
We were talking about really small piece of land. We are talking about a small operation. So in order to lower the cost of everything, you work together. You share the same tool, the same machine between a grower. Plus, to sell the wine, it's much better. You much stronger if you are part of a cooperative. You can advertise. You can do expositions that you cannot do if I'm by myself. Look at me.
Right, 4 acres. What are you? Yeah,
exactly,
what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Right.
So it's a good way to put our force. It's a good way to work together as a small community.
Awesome. So this wine, we've got a little time to talk about this. This is one of the 10 Beaujolais Cru wines, and it is of completely different. It's not quite as fuchsia as the last Beaujolais Nouveau was. So it's actually got more of that red than purple to my eye, and it's a lot more complex in my mouth than. And maybe you could tell us what you're getting out of this wine. It's just. It's beautiful.
Right away on the smell, I feel we are more on the black fruit, or at least maybe a black sherry, or almost a baked fruit. I really like the first smell right there.
And it's got some, I almost want to say pine or forest in it.
Yes.
There's an element, and it's interesting. Now this is a Gamay grape, but this tastes much closer to the normal Pinot Noir type of a grape that I would be used to.
Of course.
Of course.
That's a secret. Don't tell nobody.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I did read a couple things about this area, these cru areas being called the poor man's Burgundy.
Yes.
Okay. So,
totally.
And that goes to the price point of this, which is the low 20s.
Yes.
Which is amazing.
Incredible.
Yes, it is.
Quality of wine, incredible, yes.
It doesn't have a lot of tannin, so you're not getting a really super grippy experience in your mouth. And The alcohol content on this is 13%, so it's not super heavy, not super light, kind of right in the middle. And I think you're right. The black cherry kind of is coming through on this. So do you drink more Burgundy or more Beaujolais?
I'm gonna be honest. I drink Gamay Beaujolais around Thanksgiving because with me here it's associated with Thanksgiving, with the holidays, the turkey. I think it matches nicely. I still like Pinot Noir a lot.
I bet you do.
To start with, Cabernet as well. The list is really long. So my Gamay session, it's around November, December after I switch to something else. Sorry.
I love it. Well, stay tuned, guys, because this was our first Beaujolais cru. We've got a very interesting Beaujolais cru coming up that is actually organic out of the area, and you may be very interested to hear about this one. So stay tuned, guys.
Hi, this is Jimmy
and Miss Fox.
Check out our latest podcast on twistedcorkradio.com and find out more about Wines of the Week.
Here is a wine fun fact from Twisted Cork Radio. So, as we head into the holiday season, I always think, what makes a great, inexpensive, but impressive gift wine? And I would suggest there are 3 categories that make a great gift wine. One, now, I better say, though, these 3 categories, you don't need to necessarily have all 3 that makes it a good gift wine, but you at least need maybe 2, okay, out of the 3. So number 1 is, since we're talking about inexpensive, this should be under $25. I mean, we're not looking for anything that's going to break the bank. Inexpensive, $25 for a gift seems like the right range for me. Then, okay, there should be something special about the bottle, the wine in it, or the region it's from. So, you want something special, and then it should be a bottle of wine that even a sommelier would be happy to bring to someone's house. So, I've got a division called the Savvy Wine Shopper. And go to our Facebook page because we're about to start the 12 Days of Christmas, and you're going to see 12 wines that are inexpensive yet impressive for gift giving. But if you're going to default to the easiest wines to bring for gifts, it's either sparkling or dessert. Those 2, you walk in with a bow on those wines. The bottles are beautiful. Everything about sparkling or dessert says it's a party and it's a gift. So either way, head over to Savvy Wine Shopper on Facebook and learn more about those, or bring yourself a sparkling or a dessert wine to your next party.
Every Saturday and Sunday at 10 o'clock in the morning
on 860 KKAT.
Fill your glass and join us at twistedcorkradio.com.